What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Landon Sanders, and as always, I am joined by my co-host and good old Uncle Raj, and this is, what is it?
Broad topic.
That's what it is. Today is part 2 of the Talkin' Hoop series. Last episode was Talkin' Hoops episode number 1, numero uno.
Yeah, and now that I had a chance to relax a little bit and kind of think about things, and plus the Thunder have made a couple more moves, so hopefully we talk about those a little bit and talk about some other players and other teams.
Yeah. So I've decided this is going to be a series. I don't know if it's going to be in succession, but definitely going to be a series where we just talk hoops.
Talk hoops is going to be one of our series.
Sessions
or series. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. This is number 2, like I said. In the first episode, if you haven't watched that already, you need to check it out. I'm telling you, it is gold.
Go listen to SoundCloud or YouTube, and I think it was a great episode, personally.
You're a little biased.
I'd
say every episode is.
I kind of took over that show.
You might take over this show.
I might take over this show because when it comes to sports, sometimes I get a little rowdy.
Yeah, that's true. What do I want to start off by saying? I do want to start off by saying this. If you are listening at this very moment, I want you to go ahead and subscribe. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this right now, and if you don't have a YouTube account, make one right now. Take you a minute. Then I want you to subscribe to this channel because it'll help us out a lot. Like the videos every time you watch it.
I think you only like once, though, if you go in, right?
Yeah.
Just like it.
Like every video. Every video we make.
Subscribe and like.
Hit the subscribe button. Like the video. Comment down below. Let's have a party. Follow the Facebook page if you haven't already. If you have, thanks a lot. Anything else? SoundCloud. Go follow on SoundCloud. Like the stuff. Make us famous, people. I'm trying to get my face on a billboard. 2032. I'm trying to be famous enough.
It's already on Facebook. That's big enough, isn't it?
I'm trying.
It's worldwide.
2032 is the year that I can become president. I can run for president 2032. So I need to be famous by then.
Okay, if you run for president, all this stuff right now is floating out there in space, and they're going to be able to see everything that you've done, and they're going to bring it back on you.
Yeah, but this is professional. I'm professional.
Yeah, but they're going to be like, who's that dude with you? Because he's kind of shady. He's kind of shady.
Oh, we're supposed to be talking basketball, so let's get into it. In the last episode, we talked about some free agency stuff. Paul George signing with the Thunder.
And I talked about some Golden State stuff on top of that.
You did talk about some Golden State stuff.
And Kevin Durant. Had to get that off my chest. I think I'm okay, but Bubba's going to reel me in if I start dogging him out again, I guess. So
yeah, we don't need to be doing.
So I think we're going to kind of try to focus on the Thunder, mainly focus on the Thunder tonight or today, and kind of go down the roster and talk about a couple of the contracts. I think's what Bubba had in mind. So
yeah,
it's his show. I'm just here.
Whatever. You take over most of the time.
True.
First off, we just need to kick it off. Andre Robertson, $30 million. What is it? 3 years?
$30 million, 3 years. And if anyone, for all you that listened or watched the last show, y'all heard me go off on this, Andre Robertson. I guess in nowadays NBA, it's not too bad, I guess, but I would be more inclined to pay him about $8 million a year instead of $10 million a year. If a dude can't hit free throws and shoot a good percentage in the NBA, he shouldn't be making $10 million. I don't care who he is. And I've seen some arguments on Facebook about he's such an elite defender and all this.
Is he that good?
Is he that good? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
right off the top of your head, who can you name right now that is in elite status as far as playing defense in the NBA? Kawhi Leonard's pretty good.
Tony Allen's still pretty good.
Tony Allen.
Leonard's pretty good. But if you're talking elite, the kid from Boston that went to OSU,
Smart.
yeah, Smart, he's pretty good. I wish he would have came to the Thunder. That would have been a good pickup to back up if you wanted a little extra defense. But the pickup they did get is pretty good too, I think. But we'll get to that here in a minute. But no, I don't. I mean, you might be an elite defender, but if you can't make a layup or a free throw, I mean, he can't play. Okay, if the game's close and you're in the fourth quarter, you can't have him on the floor because teams can foul him. He can't make a damn free throw.
Yeah.
So what use is he in the end of the game? And you want him in there shutting down their best offensive player, but you can't play him because if you do make a stop, they're going to foul him, and he's going to miss the free throw.
Yeah.
Now, I know they made that rule you can't intentionally foul or whatever and send the guy to the free throw line, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you can within the game you can make it look like it was an accidental foul. I mean, you don't have to run up and just grab him. I mean, so
yeah. There'd be ways to get him to the free throw line.
If he's on the floor and you have the ball on offense and he stands out in the corner, his guy that's guarding him can sag towards the lane. I know there's defensive 3 seconds or whatever, but his guy can help regardless. And if he doesn't make to back it to Robertson, time he shoots the three, it doesn't matter because it ain't going in.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he made some shots last year and the year before in the playoffs, but not on a consistent basis. So.
No, he's not consistent enough. That's the problem.
I will say this. I think the deal that he almost signed during the year was a $12 million a year deal. So at least they saved $2 million on that, I guess.
Yeah. Thing about Robertson, like you said, not consistent. Plus, teams don't respect him. No one guards him when he's at the three-point line. Have you ever seen how wide open that dude gets? And he still can't make it.
Not on a consistent basis. Every once in a while, he'll have a game, he'll knock down 2 or 3, then he gets the big head, and he'll come out the next game shooting and 0 for 10, you know.
Yeah, it's just $30 million. I'm not impressed.
Now, if he wants to cut to the basket, drive to the lane, if Westbrook is kind of driving to the lane, he wants to make a cut to the basket and get some dunks and use his athletic ability, I don't have a problem with that.
No.
But setting him out in the corner, shooting threes is not getting it done.
No.
Now, maybe with Paul George and the Patterson guy, maybe now that you have 2 other shooters out there, maybe he can do some of those things, the cutting to the basket, and maybe with those 2 guys, they can kind of help cover up his lack of offense, and maybe that's
what they're trying to do.
I mean, when you had Kevin Durant, Robertson wasn't. No one thought about it because you had Kevin Durant out there, but
yeah.
But now you got 2 other pretty good scorers out there, so maybe that will help cover him up. I'm assuming that's what they're thinking.
Yeah. So you mentioned Ferguson, a guard coming in from where's he from? I can't think of it off the top of my head. I should have wrote it down.
He played overseas, but he's from Dallas. He was born in Tulsa, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's true. He was playing in
Australia.
I that's it.
He averaged like 2 points a game, I think, is what the stats were on him. And only played like 14 minutes a game.
Yeah.
But coming out of high school, from my understanding, I don't know. I've never seen the kid, but he was one of the best shooters coming out of high school the year he came out. So
it could have just been the type of league. Australia's a different type of league.
Yeah, and it's a professional league, so I mean it's not like the NBA, but still he's going to get some grown men at 18 years old, and that'll
give him some experience.
So they give him some. So I wouldn't expect Ferguson to do much next year. I mean, hell, even Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest players of all time, at 18 didn't do much his first year at 18 years old or 19 years old. So
yeah,
I wouldn't expect him to do much, and it is raining.
Yeah, it's raining hard. That's pretty cool.
And I was mowing.
Yeah.
And you said it wasn't going to rain on me, or the lightning wasn't getting close. What did you say? The storm was going a different way.
Well, it is. We're not getting this isn't the brunt of it. This isn't the heavy stuff. It's the storm.
So, if people listen to this one, maybe the rain will put them to sleep.
Maybe. So, I know our voices do.
Exactly.
But, Ferguson, we just talked about Ferguson. And then we've got Is that who we talking about, Ferguson?
No, I mentioned Patterson.
We were talking about Patterson.
We talked about Ferguson before we started the show. That's why you brought that up.
That's why I brought that up. Patterson is who we were talking about. Some of these guys I don't even know.
Patterson. In the last show, I was mentioning that the Thunder doesn't have any four spot players. Well, now he fills that void.
Yeah, he's a power forward.
He's a stretch four, is what he is. Taj Gibson was more of a mid-range kind of guy, dirty kind of guy. Get in there and mix it up. Patterson will play solid defense, but he's probably not as tough as Taj Gibson. Does do all that extra dirty work, but he can shoot the three pretty well. And from what I understand, the Toronto people, because I think it was Toronto where he came from, said that he will put effort on the defensive end, but he can shoot the ball. But he's very unselfish. There's times he was open for Toronto that he would make that extra pass, but they needed him to shoot, So
yeah.
So he's one of those Thunder guys. It sounds like to me.
Yeah. Have we mentioned Raymond Felton? Have we mentioned anything about him yet?
Only thing I know about him, I think that's a pretty good pickup if he can get in shape.
I've heard he has weight issue. He has trouble keeping his weight down.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, same.
But I think he's a pretty solid backup. I mean, he's going to give you that veteran presence off the bench. And with some of those young guys on that second team, I think he will be able to run that show. And all you're asking him to do is about 14 minutes a game, maybe. Enough to let Westbrook get those 2-minute rests at the end of the quarter to the start of the next quarter. End of the first, into the second, and the into the third, into the fourth. That's about all he's going to be playing, unless there's foul trouble or whatever.
Yeah. They signed him to a 1-year deal at the veterans minimum. It didn't give me an exact amount of what the veterans minimum is.
Couple million, maybe.
Couple million. Last year for the Clippers, he averaged 6.7 points a game and 2.4 assists. I mean, that'll get you some decent off the bench play, I guess.
Yeah, and he's been, like I said, the main thing about him, he's been in the league.
He's 33 years old.
Yeah, so you're not looking for more than a year, maybe 2 if he plays well.
Yeah.
And then you're letting that other point guard, that Christian or what, Kristen?
It's Samaj Christian.
Samaj, let that guy, hopefully he can grow a little bit more because he was in his first year last year. So that gives you, your third point guard. And Christian's a good defensive player, I thought, last year. So maybe he can get in a rotation, for the defensive aspects of it. But he's gonna learn now. He's gonna sit on the bench and learn from those two guys.
Yeah. As far as Thunder goes, that's about all I got.
So what is our? Because the other night we couldn't think of all the guys in the lineup. So what are we looking at? What as it stands today? What players are on the top? 12, 15, whatever's on the bench? What do we got? What are we looking at?
This is what I'm going to say our starting lineup's going to be. Westbrook, obviously. Paul George, Adams, and then I'm gonna go ahead and say Robertson. He's gonna play that 3 spot, and then I'm gonna say Patterson's gonna play that power forward spot.
So I think that lineup is pretty good.
I don't think it's as good as it needs to be. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and say.
I think with the 2 extra Patterson and Paul George, that I think that's going to open up some more lanes for Westbrook. I mean, hell, he may average another triple-double this year. I mean,
it's possible.
All right, so what do we got coming off the bench then?
Obviously, we've got Enes Kanter playing that 5 spot, that second string 5 spot. Raymond Felton, backup point guard. You're going to have probably a Abrines coming in at the 2, second string 2.
McDermott at the 3.
Yeah, McDermott's probably going to be that second string 3.
And then Grant, I would say. Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant is going to be playing
the 4.
See,
so on the second team, they're still really young.
Yeah.
And that's what Felton's there for, to kind of keep and then you got, what's his name? Cole? Is Cole still there?
Yeah, Cole Morris.
Morris Cole. Yeah.
Morris Cole, that's it.
So he can play 2 or 1, I guess. So I think now the rotation overall is pretty good. They're top 10 players. The question I go back to, can they compete with Golden State? Can they compete with the Spurs? Can they compete with Houston. I think they jump. I still think after all these moves at this point in time, because there could still be more moves and trades and stuff during the year and all that.
Yeah.
At this point, on July, whatever we're on, 8.
July 8th.
Can they compete for a championship? Is the question.
I'm gonna say no for
Maybe.
this year.
Yeah.
But here's a question: could they somehow squeeze into the Western Conference Finals?
Good question.
Because
It all depends on if you get opposite of Golden State. Because I think for sure losses of Golden State. If you meet up with them in the second round, it's over.
it's over. Yeah.
So if you can get whatever seed that is to be on the opposite side of them, so it would have to be
Well, it'd have to be like
the 2,
2.
the 3, right?
Yeah.
Because the highest seed's going to stay away from them.
The highest seed will play the last seed first.
Yeah. So whatever. So if they can stay away from Golden State in the playoffs, they could meet I think they could meet with that team in the final. Because I don't think San Antonio's so far ahead of them that they
No.
can't catch them, and I don't think the Rockets are so far ahead they can't catch them. The kicker is next year they've got to come out like gangbusters and get a bunch of wins early in the season when everybody else is kind of just
Yeah.
messing around.
Yeah.
Come out and get a bunch of wins
Mm-hmm.
and get up there high in the standings. And because most teams in the NBA turn it on after the All-Star break. Other than Golden State, they're just so damn good that they can half-ass it
And still win.
and still win a bunch of games. So, and they've been the number 1 seed the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So, in this last year, I thought that overall they played like junk in the regular season. They still was the number 1 seed. So,
Yeah.
we obviously Golden State, with barring injuries, they're going to be the number 1 seed. So you got to stay away from them that second round, and get there, and then see what happens, I guess.
Yeah. The Spurs.
Oh, speaking of Golden State, you hear who they picked up?
No.
Swaggy P.
Really?
Yes.
Swaggy.
Yes, from the Lakers.
That dude.
That dude's a damn joke. So he averaged like 13 points a game. But I had to throw that out there. Swaggy
Thanks for
P.
throwing that out there.
But for a second team guy,
Yeah. I mean,
he can shoot pretty good.
I would pick him up just because
The Swaggy P.
it's like the San Antonio Spurs signed Rudy Gay.
Rudy Gay.
Everybody was thinking he was going to try and come to the Thunder. But that didn't work out, did it?
Didn't work out. I don't know if that would have been a good pickup or not. I mean, it's
I-
pretty.
I don't know enough about the guy.
He's coming off of Achilles heel torn. His Achilles heel was torn.
Yeah.
He's coming off that. He can't be ready to play. It's going to take him half the year to get really going back into real basketball shape and all that.
Yeah.
Maybe for the Spurs coming off the bench slowly. Score, but I think he's a locker room problem. He may not be. He's getting older and he's getting up in his career now. Maybe he'll be like, hey, championship's more important. So I'm not sure what the Spurs paid him, but
I should have. No, I didn't write that down. Whoops. Slipped my
the
mind.
question is he worth whatever he was asking? And I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
Nah, he's one of those guys that.
It had to be more than Patterson, whatever Patterson's getting.
Patterson's getting $16.4 million over 3 years.
Yeah, I'm sure Rudy Gay asked for way more than that.
Yeah. But getting away from the Thunder, and let's even get away from the Western Conference. Let's hit the East. You ready for this one?
Yep.
Gordon Hayward signed with the Boston Celtics for 4 years at the $128 million max contract.
I would take him on the Thunder. I'll say that.
Well, yeah.
But I think he's going to be an all-star because all the good players are going to the West. And so behind LeBron James, he might be the second best player in the East.
Yeah, that's true. But he's going to a Boston Celtics team that they're kind of...
Yeah, but they've traded a bunch of dudes.
They have.
Or they've looked at trading some guys.
They're trying to shop Marcus Smart's what I hear.
Well, now, but I think they got rid of Avery, so that they won't be getting rid of Smart now.
Really?
I think. I could be wrong, so I think that's what I heard. But I think it's a good fit. He's going to be their main guy. I mean...
Yeah, he's...
Or was it Bradley? Avery Bradley? Anyways, he's going to average 20, 25 points a game. I mean...
Yeah. I'd imagine that the Utah Jazz fans are feeling a little similar to what we felt a year ago.
That's what I've heard. They're burning jerseys, and they had to shut down his social media because his wife was getting messages, and he was getting basically probably worse than what OKC fans did when Kevin Durant left, and now they understand the feeling of it.
Well, the thing is with Hayward, Kevin Durant, we all knew by noon. He had signed by 11 or whatever. We all knew by noon. Gordon Hayward signs at 11, and they wait until 6 o'clock p.m. to say anything about it. So for that 6-7 hours between signing and when it comes out, everybody's up in the air. Like, is he going? Is he not? And it all day. And then 6 o'clock, he says, "Peace, I'm out."
Well, I mean, he was at Utah. Wouldn't you be like, "Peace, I'm out," too?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, who wants to play for Utah?
Yeah. These players, and maybe it's the fans' fault for, and fans, is short for fanatic, so maybe it's our fault as fans, and maybe we get too wrapped up in sports in general in life. And like I've said before, overall grand scheme of life, sports isn't that big of a deal. But since the beginning of time, sports has been around, and it's where people, they get so connected with teams and players. And I mean, you see it at the college level, just the hatred between even in-state schools. And I mean, it gets a little ridiculous at times. I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this. We get so caught up in it that I think we kind of forget sometimes that, hell, they're just people. They're making money. They're not really changing the world. And I mean, really, is him going to? I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm pissed off at Kevin Durant. Maybe does it really change my life in any way, shape, or form? So I don't know. Maybe it's the fans' fault, but these guys have got to realize fans do look up to him. Little kids look up to him. People spend a lot of money to go watch these guys play. Just have some balls and be like, "Listen, I'm out of here. I'm out. I'm not winning here." Just say it. "I'm not winning here. Hey, I love Salt Lake City, Utah, but I'm out. I want to go get paid.
And I want to go to Boston."
But some of that's the NBA's fault. I think the NBA is, allowing these super teams and allowing these guys to, basically, the NBA, the players run the league.
Yeah.
It's a players' league. It's not a team league anymore. It used to be a brand name. It used to be the Lakers. It used to be Boston. It used to be Detroit. It used to be Chicago. Now it's about players. So, anyways, I don't even know what I was trying to say there, but maybe it's our fault for, as fans in general, getting too attached to these people and thinking that loyalty is it's not. There's no loyalty in sports at all.
Well, let me ask you a question, and we'll tie it in. In your time after college, how many jobs have you had?
Oh, man.
How many different jobs since college, since you left college?
Doing what these guys do, trying to improve my situation?
Yeah.
I've had a few.
So, you say, "I'm not happy in this job.
Yeah.
Not getting paid enough.
Yep.
I'm going to go find another job, getting paid more,
Yep.
in a better place."
Yep.
Same thing.
Different thing is, I don't have a million fans from going, "Stay here, stay there." No one's getting mad at me for leaving.
That's true, except maybe the coworkers. But
Nah, everybody's ready for my ass to leave.
but that's the thing, though. It's the same thing. It's their job,
Right, I see your point.
and they're
yes.
just trying to say, "I'm tired. I don't want to be in this job anymore, so I'm gonna go get a different job somewhere else." Well, same thing.
Yeah, it's just like I said. They're they're people.
Yeah.
They want to get paid. They want
They want to
to
win.
as sports. They want to win. I would think they want to win. I'm sure there's some guys just there for the paycheck, but maybe us as a society, as fans, need to take a step back and realize that. But that's what sports is about. Sports have been around for ever since there's been mankind. There's been sports. So, just think about the gladiator days, man. They were, I think we're bad. I mean, I'm sure those fans were crazy.
Yeah.
So, it's sports. It's part of our lives. I like sports because it takes me away from my other daily activities. And they've done studies that when your team wins, it improves your life. When your team loses, it affects you in a negative way too. So, anyways,
we're gonna stay in the Eastern Conference for just one moment. Chris Bosh, waived by the Miami Heat.
But he hasn't played for 2 years, has he?
No.
I mean, he's had heart issues.
Yeah.
So he's got paid for the last 2 years for not playing. I mean, it's probably best he doesn't play.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's some health issues there. So that they have to waive him. I mean, they got to open up a spot.
Yeah.
So hopefully everything works out for him.
You think he'll retire?
Yeah, he needs to retire. He's made plenty of money. He won a couple of rings.
Yeah, I'd retire.
I mean, he was an all-star at one point.
I'd go play golf.
Yeah, go play golf.
You ever golfed?
No.
I haven't
Putt-putt.
Yeah, same.
I beat putt-putt up.
Yeah, same.
No, I'm not very good at that either, but no golf.
But Chris Bosh waived by the Miami Heat. They waved goodbye. I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do. They might retire his jersey or something. I think I've heard something about that. They might retire his jersey.
That'd be cool. That'd be nice of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he was. I mean, he was important to that team, but I don't think he was that dang important. I mean,
that was LeBron's team.
Yeah, I mean, you had LeBron and Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade, I think, is signing an extension with Chicago. And Derrick Rose is in talks with L.A.
Lakers? Or
Clippers.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
If he didn't have two bum knees, that'd be really interesting.
Yeah. You think his injuries and off-the-court issues have really kept him from being as good as he could have been?
It's mainly the injuries, I think.
Mainly the injuries, but he has
he has superstar written all over him.
Yeah.
When he came in the league.
He won the MVP that one year, and I can't name the year off the top of my head.
Yeah, he was a heck of a ball player, but knee injuries, man, you start getting those.
Yeah.
And for one whole year when he was 100% healthy, mentally he was not there, and he didn't play very well, and actually sat out most of the year, even though the doctors told him he could play. So
yeah,
that's what injuries do to people. They messes with people's minds and stuff.
Yep. But he's in talks with Clippers, so we'll see how that goes. Carmelo's still doing his thing, still trying to either go to
I think the Clippers are going to fall a couple of spots. I think it's going to be, and not to jump back to the West, but I think it's going to be Golden State, Houston, and then San Antonio, and then OKC, and the Clippers are going to be behind that.
Yeah,
back to the West or back to the East.
I don't really have anything else in the East. I'm sure there's a couple other people that I don't really care about signing stuff. I don't really care about.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only people we really care about is OKC. I mean, that's what everybody else is doing. The East is going to be weak. It's going to be Cleveland and then Boston.
Yeah.
And other than that,
nothing.
The West is going to be solid again. Actually, the West wasn't that good last year, but
I mean,
if you take Golden State out of the equation, you had a bunch of average teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's an average league.
It's an average league. It's a two-team league is what it is, and the NBA's got to do something about that. And part of that, I think, goes back to, what was it, late 80s, early 90s maybe, when they did that expansion, and you put in Toronto and Charlotte. That waters down the league because you got, two more teams where if those two teams weren't in the league, what stars they have would be on somebody else's team, which make them a little stronger. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I think the league I think the league is watered down a little bit. I think. I don't know. There's so many things going. I mean, it's a 2-team league, really. Everybody else is just. I mean, if you know you're not going to win a championship, I mean, what the hell's the point? Almost, you know. I guess it's fun to watch OKC, and if they're winning, it makes you feel good. But deep down inside, you know, if Golden State players don't get hurt, they're not winning it. And that's the whole reason you play, right? To win the championship.
Yeah.
And now the competitive side, you'd be like, well, let's bring them on. Let's try to beat them. I get that part of it, but as fans, once again, it's like, how excited can I really be?
Well, the problem is that you have those teams like that, and there is no competition because all the teams, they want to get all the players just want to play for the same team.
Even in the 80s, when you had the super teams of the Lakers and Boston, someone always snuck in and won one.
Yeah. But it's been Cleveland and Golden State
the last
3 years in a row.
And if nothing changes, it's going to be 4 years in a row with those two damn teams. And I like LeBron. I mean, I got his rookie card. More he wins, more my retirement goes up. But but is it fun to watch NBA when you know down deep when the playoffs roll around?
It's going to be the same two teams.
Even if you make it to the Western Conference Finals, unless every guy on the Thunder team plays out their damn mind and goes above and beyond. Now, upsets do happen. Don't get me wrong. It does happen. That's why I like college sports more than I do the pro sports. Because, you know, on college level, it's seriously, any given Saturday or whatever, a team can be beaten. In the playoff, last year, and not to go back to this, it seems to go back to these two teams, but last year when Kevin Durant signed with Golden State, it was over.
Yeah.
We knew last July who was winning the championship. We were just hoping Cleveland could hang with them. So, does that make the NBA fun?
No.
I mean, how many NBA games do you watch? How many NBA games did you watch last year?
Like 10.
10. There's 82 damn games, and plus the playoffs.
Yeah. That's including the playoffs.
Oh, okay. So I watched every OKC versus Golden State Warriors game. And
I didn't even do that.
Went nuts on Facebook about it, just talking all kinds of junk. But, I mean, really?
I mean, it's basically like...
I watch the Thunder when I can, but
yeah.
Hell, they pissed me off by the third quarter most of the time. Last year, I was flipping it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
same.
like, dudes can't even play, man. Other than if Westbrook wasn't doing what Westbrook did last year, had an incredible season, would it even been, as a Thunder fan, would it even been fun to watch him?
No. It'd have been like a Charlotte,
I mean,
or it'd been like watching the Charlotte Hornets.
and they say, well, you're not a true fan if you don't. BS, man. If you're watching a pro team, you can be the biggest fan in the world, but if Westbrook's not doing what he was doing,
nobody would have watched.
I mean, because they were junk. I mean, he won. How many games did they win last year?
I don't know.
40-something games?
Something like that.
He had 40-something triple-doubles. I mean, that's the reason we were watching. It was because of him. Because he was doing a magical – he had a magical season.
Yeah.
So.
And it all comes back to why even – because you know it's going to be Cleveland and Golden State. Mm-hmm. It's basically like it's Christmas season, right? And you already know what you're going to get under the tree.
Yeah.
It's basically – I mean, so what's the excitement?
Right.
You just look at that box and you say, I know that's the new MacBook.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excitement in, ooh, what's in the box?
Right.
We already know.
Yeah.
We already know what's in the box. It's Cleveland and Golden State.
Yeah. And I don't know. Sports are supposed to be competitive, and granted, every once in a while, an underdog will jump up and win something they shouldn't have. But I think that happens more in college than it does the pros.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you're starting to see in college football with. I'm so sick of seeing Alabama in the national championship.
Yeah. Well, because they cheat.
Well, yeah, we know that.
But the NBA, usually in the playoffs, the best team is going to win a 7-game series.
Yeah.
Usually.
It's different.
I'd like to see the stats on that. Maybe that's something I need to do is look up the stats on that. I mean, there's been a couple 8 seeds. I mean, I've watched some of them, like Denver back in the early 90s or mid-90s where they beat Seattle You know, Mutombo's laying on the floor holding the ball. I remember that. But how often does that happen? But usually, even in that, the best team probably won the championship overall. You see what I'm saying?
It's that way in all professional
So when you have a
sports, really.
7-game series and then you have however many rounds, usually the best team, barring injuries, is going to win basically the big tournament. NCAA tournament, the difference is
One game.
one game each round. And all it takes is that one game,
Yep.
last second shot, some kind of, foul trouble, someone gets hot from the outside. So for one game, and then you get on a roll, you might make some noise. But it's just one-on-one one time for each round. So that's what makes that's why the NCAA basketball tournament, in my viewpoint, is probably the best thing going. Now, I love college football bowl season, don't get me wrong. And with the Final Four, that's made it a little bit better for even now. But that's the reason why the NCAA tournament is so big and so much money on the line, because anything can happen. Literally, anything can happen. The underdog has a chance.
Yeah. It's a lot different. Different mentality. Different. Just whole different. I mean, I love college sports, but professional sports for me, just everyone is always like, OKC, or, and if you get into football, Dallas, and I like Dallas. I like Oklahoma City Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not that, like, I could care less if I watched the Oklahoma City Thunder play a basketball game. And that's just because of the league in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because of the team, the league. I don't like professional sports. It's a whole different environment. And, that vibe of college sports compared to the pros, it's a whole different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
And part of my deal is, once again, I go back to when I was growing up, because I grew up a Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls fan. I had Michael Jordan plastered on my wall. I was a huge fan of Scottie Pippen. I didn't ever think he got the credit that he deserves. Still doesn't get the credit he deserves. But once he finally retired the second time and he was done, I was able to watch pro basketball, NBA basketball, as just a neutral fan. Because at that time I didn't have a team. I didn't jump like a bunch of people do, jump from team to team.
We'll get into that in a minute.
I didn't do that. So I was just watching the NBA just as a fan. And it took about one full season to realize that it was garbage. As a guy with no team to root for. Because I saw, and a lot of people don't believe this, the bias that refs have and the agenda that the NBA had. And when Michael Jordan retired, that was about when Tim Duncan came in the league and the Spurs started making their run. Well, at the time, Tim Duncan became the baby of the league. That dude could do no wrong. And the San Antonio Spurs would get calls. I'd sit and watch games. I'm like, no one even touched the guy, and there's fouls. Or vice versa. I mean, it was just some ridiculous BS. I stopped watching the NBA for 3, 4, 5 years. I can't remember how long it was. I quit watching the NBA. I think I actually started watching the NBA again when I did watch some of the finals and stuff with the Lakers and Detroit, and just to watch. But when I really started watching again was when the hurricane hit and the team, who was it, came to Oklahoma City.
Oh, at the time is the New Orleans Hornets.
Yeah. And so they got kind of excited, like, oh, I'll watch this because it's Oklahoma City. We're helping these people out, And the next thing you know, we have a team, and I became a fan again. And so I'm an Oklahoma City fan. I'm not a – and that's another thing with the whole Kevin Durant deal. I was a fan of Kevin Durant because he was at Oklahoma City. I'm a LeBron. I like LeBron, but I'm an Oklahoma City fan. And if he's on the other team, I'm going against him.
Well, he's not even from here.
So
there's no reason to.
So I haven't been a fan very long of the NBA since, 07, 06 when they got here. So did I watch the NBA a little bit here and there until then? Yeah, I did. But I don't know. It seems like there's two teams, man, every year. So
yeah. And I'm the same way as you. I like the Oklahoma City Thunder because they're Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not a basketball. I'm not an NBA fan,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not gonna sit and watch 82.
See, me growing up, I watched every game I could get a hold of. Just like college football growing up, I didn't care who was playing. I was watching it.
Well,
Now, I don't do that quite as much anymore, but because I watch the Sooners, so I watch them play any damn game. But I don't quite. Even growing up at NFL, I used to watch any game. Obviously, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. In the NBA, growing up, I'd watch any game. But I was always looking for Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, But I'd watch any other game other than that. So I see what you're saying.
It's well, we talked basketball and the NBA. Don't really have anything else to say. See what I did there?
So are you trying to
No, I said.
transition or
Well, I
or are you
said.
done?
I said we talked about the NBA. I don't really have nothing else to say. See, I just made it rhyme.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with it.
Okay. You got anything else?
I don't. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't either.
So
Calling it.
people are like right now going, these dudes need to make a decision.
Did you make a decision?
One other thing.
All right.
One other thing that it's not irritating. I'm calling out my boy Gary. Listen, dude, if you listen to this, I'm calling you out. You can't have two teams. Either you're a fan of a team or you're not.
That's
In other
true.
words, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm not a fan of anybody else. I'm not like players here and there. Like I like Adrian Peterson. I like other OU players on other teams. But I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm not rooting for any other damn team. Now, I will root against like the Patriots because I'm tired of them. I'm an Oklahoma City fan. I'm not going to root for another team. So either you're a Golden State fan or you're an Oklahoma City fan. Now, I understand he likes Westbrook. I'm just pointing him out because he's the guy I'm thinking of right now. So people, if you're listening to me, you can't have two teams. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Either you're Oklahoma City fan, Thunder fan, or you're not.
Yeah, you're either with us or against us.
You can't have two teams. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm not a
Dallas Cowboy.
also a
and-
Tampa Bay fan or a also. When growing up, I was a Cowboys fan, but I liked Denver. I liked John Elway, and they had some players I liked, and I went for them in the Super Bowl. But I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, I'm an Oklahoma City fan. I'm not pulling for any other teams. Now, in the finals, yes, I was pulling for Cleveland, but I'm not a Cleveland fan.
Yeah.
I just didn't want Golden State to win it.
Yeah. And we can get into that a little bit more. I'm glad you reminded me. Thanks for getting in because we got more stuff to talk about. Fans that jump from team to team. And here's the thing. Golden State Warriors.
They didn't have other than Gary, they didn't have no fans before 5 years ago.
I sent you that thing one day, didn't
Yeah,
I? It said the only Golden State Warriors fan before 2014 was Danny Tanner
Yeah.
from Full House.
Well, so here's the deal, and like my boy Gary, he'll know. I remember basketball. I remember Run TMC. I remember when Chris Webber was one of my favorite players coming out of Michigan, because I saw him on the cover of the high school deal. So I followed the Fab Five and all that. I loved watching those dudes, but I was an Oklahoma City Oklahoma Sooner fan. But I also watched Michigan because I liked the Fab Five. Was I a Michigan fan? No.
You were a Fab Five fan.
I was a Fab Five fan, and when they got in the tournament, and OU wasn't in the tournament, I went for Michigan just because I was a fan of them. But am I a Michigan fan? No. I'm a Sooner fan, but also I used to love watching Nebraska play football. Was I a fan of Nebraska? No. Even when the Sooners were getting killed every year by Nebraska. You see what I'm saying? But what'd you say? I got lost there. But
What did I say?
jumping team to team.
Jumping team to team.
Listen.
Basically sticking with whoever's winning at the time.
Yeah, don't. I see it all the time on social media, Facebook, whatever. 5 years ago, there's some people that were fans of whoever, and now they're fans of another team. I'm like, Are you kidding me?
They're just what do they call it when you're only rooting for the best team, whoever's winning
Just
it.
bandwagon fan.
Bandwagon, but
And I've been called a bandwagon Sooner football fan. Listen, people, I'm not anybody that truly knows me knows better than that. So, but anyways, quit jumping team to team.
yeah.
I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. We've won one playoff game in 20 damn years or whatever it's been. So long I can't even remember. But guess what? I'm still a fan.
You're not a Patriots fan because they've been winning a bunch.
And that's another thing. The Patriots didn't have no fans before Tom Brady got there and started winning Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they got all these damn fans, even in Oklahoma. It's like Golden State, people wearing Golden State Warrior jerseys in Oklahoma. Get the hell out of here with that
I could
BS.
see somebody wearing a Los
Get
Angeles
outta here.
Lakers jersey or
Get outta here.
or a Boston Celtics. Those teams have history.
Yeah.
Those teams have been around.
Unless you're
Unless you're from
if you're older like me, well, you grew up where there was no Oklahoma City team. Like I was a Chicago fan because that's who drew my attention at the time.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you're saying you'd see more Laker fans here than you would. But Golden State has just now been good. Why are there Golden State jerseys in their state?
Because
I could understand Laker fans, Boston fans. Hell, I knew Boston fans back in the day. Golden State,
Golden State was irrelevant.
Are you kidding me?
If you were a Golden State fan, you were probably either watching Golden State because that was back in the day. That's probably all you could watch.
And I watched Golden State back in the day, but I wasn't a fan because I remember watching Chris Webber dunk on Charles Barkley going around the back and dunked on him. Bam! I remember the highlight. I watched the game. I watched those games. I remember Run TMC.
And I can understand Golden State
But
fans.
I wasn't their fan. I was a Chicago fan. I was a Michael Jordan fan.
I can understand Golden State fans that live in Oakland.
Now, if they've moved to Oklahoma, fine.
They're in Oakland, right? It's not San Francisco. It's the Golden Gate Bridge, but it's Oakland.
I think they're moving to San Fran, though.
Are they actually moving to San Francisco?
I think so.
But here's the deal. I can understand that if you're in that area and you've always gone to the games, but I can guarantee you they did not sell the tickets that they're selling now 5 years ago.
Oh, no. So, anyways, the fan deal, the jumping from team to team, quit doing that. So in other words, all you Patriot fans out there, when Tom Brady leaves and Belichick leaves and the Patriots are shit,
You better still be a Patriots fan.
You better still be a Patriots fan. I'm still a Cowboys fan, and they get their ass beat all the time.
Yeah.
Now, I will talk trash about them because they wear me out every Sunday, but I'm still a Cowboys fan. Be a fan of who you're a fan of. Quit.
I don't care if
if you're offended by this comment right now, you're probably one of those people.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the deal. I would rather root for a 3-9. What would it be? A 12-game season. 3-9.
3-9.
I'd rather be a fan of a 3-9 team that I've always been a fan of.
Oh, I've been there.
I'd be more proud of that than being a fan of a different team every year that's winning 12 games.
Yeah. Now, will I pull for other people in other situations? Yeah, I remember when Alabama played, I think it was Miami for a national championship back in the day. Well, I hated Miami at the time. So, hell yeah, I rooted for Alabama. I have a lot of respect for Alabama. Now they're starting to wear me out because there's no doubt in my mind them dudes are cheating. But that doesn't mean I'm a fan of them. You know.
Yeah. You don't have Alabama gear.
Yeah.
You're not on Facebook all the time saying "Roll Tide."
And another thing, quit obsessing about the teams you hate. I'm a Sooner fan, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and the obsession of people that hate Dallas Cowboys and people that hate the Sooners. If you're so worried about what the Oklahoma Sooners are doing, the Dallas Cowboys are doing, you're out your damn mind. Root for your damn team and worry about your team. I'm so sick of that. Do you think... Okay, I don't like Oklahoma State. Hate them. I don't never go for them. But you think I give a shit what they're doing on a weekly basis? I don't care.
I don't even keep up with who they're playing.
Will I talk trash about them? Yes. But you think I really care what they're doing?
No, I don't.
And not to pick on them. Texas, whoever. People that ain't even Big 12 fans. I tried a couple years ago because the SEC, every team, and I got an argument on our cruise with a Georgia fan. SEC fans, they will, if Alabama wins a national title, they all claim it. Georgia fans,
They say that was an SEC
yeah, it's
national
SEC.
championship.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
You think anybody would say if OU won a national championship? You think anybody else in the Big 12 would say,
Oh, that's mine.
That's a Big 12 team. That's a Big 12 team right
now,
there.
I have in the last couple of years, I've tried personally to root. When we're playing them bowl games, I want the Big 12 to win because I'm so sick of that SEC crap. You know, so even my hatred towards Oklahoma State and Texas, I'll root for them dudes, or I try to, but because I'm so sick of that. But I got an argument with a Georgia dude on the damn cruise. He's like, well, every time Alabama wins, it helps my recruiting. Have you won shit, Georgia? You ain't won nothing.
And how does it help
How
Georgia's
does it help
recruiting?
you? It helps Alabama.
That helps Alabama's recruiting.
Yeah.
That hurts
Yeah,
Georgia
you're right.
because Alabama and Georgia have to
So-
play.
So if you're an SEC fan, quit SEC. I mean, how does it help you that Alabama wins every year?
Georgia and Alabama aren't in the same conference, aren't like the same
Division. I don't think they're in the same division.
So they
How
don't
does
have to play. But the thing is, that doesn't help Georgia's recruiting. It helps Alabama's. And at the end of the day, if Georgia was to make it to the SEC championship against Alabama, you think it's going to help them?
But with that being said, as the Big 12, we have got to band together. So all you fans that just absolutely hate OU, you do know that if OU sucks and you beat them, it doesn't help you. You don't gain no respect. It helps you if OU's good and you beat them. So quit saying OU sucks and and OU this and OU that. You need OU to be good. You need Texas to be good. We need OSU to be good. We need Baylor to be good. We need all of them teams to be good so when you actually do beat them, you have something to brag about. So all you fans that just keep riding OU's ass, all you people that hate them, you're not helping yourself doing that. Because what happens if OU is 2-5 and OSU beats them next year? And they're going to talk about how OU's garbage and they suck and all this. Well, what's going to be your claim to play in the Final Four? If OU sucks and you want to play in the Final Four, how's that going to help you? It doesn't. It doesn't help you.
Nope.
So you need OU to be good. We need OSU to be good. We need Texas. We really need Texas to be good.
We definitely need
Them
Texas
dudes
to be
get
good.
more credit for losing than any team I know. They're the. So that's my spiel.
We were talking hoops. Now we're talking football.
But it started with the whole fan thing. It just kept rolling. I'm just trying to get it out there because all these things I think about, and it just drives me crazy. If you don't want to like OU, that's fine. You want to hate them, that's fine. I don't care. But you need to realize, as other fans, that you need OU to be good. Hate to tell you that. And whether you like it or not, OU gets the national respect. Texas gets the national respect. If OU and Texas sucks, this league sucks.
Yeah.
Hate to tell you that. Because what if OSU wins this whole conference next year, but OU and Texas wins 5 games? Does that really help OSU?
No.
People are going to be like, they beat a bad Oklahoma team, they beat a bad Texas team. That's why Baylor and TCU one of them didn't make that Final Four that year. Because no one gave a crap that they were 11-1. They beat each other.
Yeah.
But OU was bad that year. Texas was bad that year.
Yeah.
They didn't get no credit.
Yeah.
So think about that, people.
That's something to think about.
That's something to think about. We'll probably get more on that because hopefully we'll do a college football preview. I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Enough with this basketball, and I'm ready for some college football.
College football.
And we're going to have a big preview show, I hope.
Yeah. Definitely going to have that. Anything else? Anything else you got to talk about before we sign off?
That was a pretty good rant. I hope people enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I hope I made some people laugh. I hope I made some people mad at me. It's all good. Just listen.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm good.
I'm good too. So with that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed this part 2 of the Talking Hoops series.
And football.
And a little bit of football. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Make sure to subscribe to this channel on YouTube, like the video, leave a comment down below. Just, you know what?
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell your family.
Tell your family.
Tell your dog. Your dog. Tell your dog.
Tell your dog. Tell your mailman. And you know what? All on top of that.
Tell your PO. Tell your preacher.
Tell your preacher.
Tell your teacher.
Tell your teacher. And tell your...
milkman.
That doesn't rhyme with any of that.
Okay.
But anyways.
Peace.
Peace.